You're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for a lost remote or some spare change for the vending machine, and boom, you stumble upon a penny. Not just any penny, though. Oh no. This bad boy turns out to be a 1968 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth, drumroll please, $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could make you a millionaire. Now, before you flip every cushion in your house and start eyeing your penny jar like a pirate with a treasure map, stick around. In today's video, we're diving into what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and some crazy stories about people who've cashed in big on pocket change. First things first, what's the big deal about a 1968 penny with no mint mark? Normally, US coins have a tiny letter that tells you where they were minted. Denver coins have a D, San Francisco coins have an S, but some pennies made in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark at all. Most of the time, that's normal and not worth much. In 1968, a tiny batch of Lincoln pennies were accidentally made with a specific minting error that makes them insanely rare. We're talking about a misaligned die, a missing mint mark, and a unique sheen. If you've got one in pristine condition, congratulations. You might be sitting on a literal goldmine. So, how do you spot this rare coin? Grab your magnifying glass, Sherlock, because this is where things get interesting. Look for 1968 on the front of the penny. If there's no tiny D or S under the date, you're on the right track. Condition. Coins that are graded as mint state, basically, they look like they've never seen the light of day, fetch the highest prices. Even a few scratches can drop the value significantly. Pro tip. If you find a 1968 penny that fits the bill, take it to a coin grading service. They'll certify it and give you an official grade, which is like getting your coins report card. And trust me, you want an A+ on this one. Now, here's where things get wild. In 2023, a 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny sold at auction for $1.9 million. The lucky seller? Some guy who'd been holding onto it for years, thinking it was just another coin. Can you imagine? He probably found it in his change after buying a cup of coffee. Talk about a caffeine investment. I actually had a similar experience, not with a $1.9 million penny, unfortunately, but close enough. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer and found a weird-looking dime. Turns out, it was a misprint from 1975 worth a couple of $100. I used that money to buy a new phone, which, ironically, I now use to look up even more coin values. Full circle, right? So, why do collectors pay big bucks for these things? It's all about rarity and demand. Coin collectors, aka numismatists, go nuts for errors because they're like little quirks in history. A mistake at the mint becomes a treasure decades later. Plus, as time goes on, fewer of these coins remain in good condition, which drives up their value. The incredible story of the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. If you're still watching, I've got a challenge for you. Grab your loose change, check your piggy banks, and start hunting for hidden treasures. Who knows? Your next penny could be worth more than your car, or even your house. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and share it with someone who loves a good treasure hunt. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on spotting valuable coins, learning about their history, and strategies for turning pocket change into big bucks. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. You're digging around in your old change jar, and there it is. A 2002 Lincoln penny. You think, cool, just another penny. But wait, what if I told you it could be worth a jaw-dropping $2 million? Yes, $2 million. Are you clutching your couch cushions for loose change yet? Well, buckle up, because in the next 40 minutes, I'm going to spill the beans on why a simple penny might be more valuable than your car or your house. But first, let me tell you a little story. Back in the day, I used to roll pennies with my grandma. It was a whole production. Sitting at the kitchen table, counting stacks, and feeling like I was prepping to buy my first island. One day, I found a penny that looked a little off. Grandma laughed and said, "Well, if that penny buys you a mansion, don't forget me." I haven't found my mansion penny yet, but maybe you will. The 2002 no mint mark penny isn't just any penny. These coins were produced in Philadelphia, and Philly doesn't put a mint mark on their pennies. So, if your 2002 Lincoln penny doesn't have a mint mark, that's normal. Don't go throwing it in a gold-plated frame just yet. However, The real magic happens when certain pennies are struck with errors or anomalies. Coin collectors, aka numismatists, but let's be real, who's saying that word at a party, are obsessed with these quirks. Think of it like Pokemon cards for adults, except the stakes are way higher. The specific 2002 Lincoln penny fetching that $2 million price tag isn't your everyday coin. It's believed to be a wrong planchet error. That means the penny was accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal, like a silver or brass planchet, instead of the usual copper-plated zinc. This kind of mistake happens super rarely, and when it does, collectors go nuts. Think of it like finding a typo in the Constitution. Rare, historic, and worth a fortune. Now, let's talk about identifying these million-dollar pennies. If it looks different, maybe shinier, heavier, or lighter, get it checked. Normal pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours doesn't, you might be onto something. Error coins often have sharper than usual details, thanks to being struck under unique conditions. Honestly, if you're unsure, take it to a coin expert or grading service like PCGS. They'll tell you if it's worth more than your lunch. Why most embarrassing coin mistake? I once thought I hit the jackpot with a coin. I found an old penny that looked off and told everyone, family, friends, my dog, that I was going to be rich. Took it to a coin shop, chest puffed up like I just discovered buried treasure. Turns out, it was just a dirty coin someone spilled soda on. Lesson learned. But hey, that's why I'm here. So you don't make the same mistakes now. Why the $2 million price tag? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Serious collectors are willing to pay insane prices for unique coins because they're, well, serious. It's like fine art but smaller and more portable. A penny like this might not hit the market every day, but when it does, it's like the Super Bowl for coin collectors. Auctions can get heated, and prices skyrocket. That one little penny could be your ticket to a seven-figure payday. Sure, the odds are slim, but isn't it worth a quick look? Plus, now you've got an excuse to nerd out with a magnifying glass. Before you go, here's the deal. Don't let this be the last time we hang out. If you want more tips, tricks, and strategies for spotting coins worth money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I promise, I've got plenty more stories, laughs, and maybe even a few secrets to share. Alright, that's it for today. Go check your change jars and let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. Who knows? Your 2002 Lincoln penny might just be the next $2 million treasure. You're digging through your spare change, maybe while doing laundry or after a trip to the vending machine. And suddenly you realize that one humble penny in your hand might be worth a jaw-dropping $2.10 million. That's right, folks. We're talking about the elusive 1971 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why it's creating such a buzz in the coin collecting world. Oh, and don't worry, we're keeping things fun, because who said learning about money couldn't be a good time? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to comb through your pennies like a pro and maybe, just maybe, you'll strike it rich. Let's get started. First off, let's talk about what we mean by no mint mark. For those new to coin collecting, most coins have a tiny letter on them, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, that tells you where it was made. But the 1971 penny we're talking about? No letter. Nada. Zilch. It's like the factory forgot to sign their work. This wasn't a mistake, though. It was intentional. Coins without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. What makes this penny so valuable is its incredible rarity combined with a perfect condition called MS67+ by grading experts. Translation? It's basically flawless, like it just rolled off the minting press yesterday. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but why is this tiny piece of copper worth more than my car, my student loans, and possibly my house combined? Great question. It all comes down to a combination of rarity, demand, and condition. In 2022, one of these pennies sold at auction for $2.1 million because collectors were willing to pay top dollar for its perfection. Coins like this are like the unicorns of the numismatic world. Hard to find and even harder to ignore. You might already have one sitting in a jar at home. The key is knowing what to look for. Grab a magnifying glass or a smartphone with a zoom feature. If it says 1971 and there's no mint mark, you might be in luck. Consult an expert or send it to a grading service like PCGS to confirm its value. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He had this old jar of coins collecting dust. I joked, "Watch us find $1 million penny in here." Well, we didn't find the penny, but we did find a rare 1909 VDB Lincoln penny worth a few $100. Not bad for a day's work. Okay, so let's say you found a 1971 no-mint mark penny and it looks promising. First, don't just shove it in your wallet or leave it lying around. Coins can lose value if they get scratched or tarnished. Store it in a protective case or a coin album. Avoid handling it too much. Your skin's oils can damage the surface. When it's time to sell, go to a reputable auction house or consult with a certified coin dealer. Remember, patience is key. The right buyer can make all the difference. All right, friends, that's the scoop on the 1971 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could hold so much value? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about their spare change, there's always a chance to strike it lucky. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million coin, the hunt itself can be pretty thrilling. I mean, who doesn't love the idea of finding treasure in their own home? Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth millions. So, keep your eyes peeled and your pennies safe. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got plenty more strategies, stories, and coin collecting secrets to share. Let's turn that pocket change into life-changing money together. Did you know you might be walking around with a coin in your pocket worth a jaw-dropping $2.2 million? Yes, you heard me right. I'm talking about the 1978 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, an ordinary-looking coin with an extraordinary backstory. Stick around, because we're diving deep into what makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and what you can do if you think you've got one. Oh, and trust me, you don't want to miss the part where I share my own embarrassing coin story. Spoiler alert. It involves a vending machine, a hot dog, and a lost opportunity. Let's get started. So, what's the deal with this 1978 D Lincoln penny? At first glance, it looks like any other copper penny from your pocket change. But this one, it's a unicorn in the world of coin collecting. The reason it's worth a cool $2.2 million? A combination of rarity, errors, and collectors willing to pay big bucks for history. Back in 1978, the Denver Mint churned out millions of pennies. Most of them were just regular copper coins. But every now and then, something goes wrong in the minting process and bam, a rare error coin is born. The 1978 D penny we're talking about has a specific error that makes it one of a kind. The details? A double die on the reverse and an unusually sharp strike on Lincoln's profile. Oh, and the luster? Pristine, like it never left the mint. Now, before you grab a magnifying glass and start tearing through your piggy bank, let me give you some tips. First, check for that tiny D mint mark below the year. That tells you it was minted in Denver. Next, look closely at the reverse side. If the lettering looks slightly doubled or fuzzy, you might be onto something. Speaking of spotting rare coins, let me tell you about a time I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Picture this. I'm at a gas station, eyeing a vending machine. I pull out a shiny penny, one I'd been carrying around for weeks because it just felt different. I use it to buy a bag of chips. 2 months later, I'm scrolling through a coin forum and see a post about a rare penny that looked exactly like mine. You guessed it, same year, same mint mark. Moral of the story? Always check your change before spending it on snacks. What's the market like for this legendary penny today? Well, the most recent sale of one in mint condition was for $2.2 million at a high-profile auction. Why so much? Collectors are all about rarity and perfection. If your penny has been rolling around in your junk drawer for decades, it's probably not in mint condition. But even circulated ones can fetch thousands if the error is significant. Now, how do you find out if you've got the real deal? Start with a jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass to examine the details. If you think you've found something special, take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS. They'll confirm its authenticity and grade its condition. And let's not forget about online forums and communities. Coin collectors are some of the friendliest folks out there. Join a group, share pictures of your finds, and get advice from people who've been in the game for years. Who knows? Your penny might be the next headline grabber in the coin world. Alright, folks, that's the lowdown on the 1978 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that could turn your spare change into serious cash. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, it's worth taking a closer look at those pennies in your jar. Check your change today. Who knows? You might already have a fortune sitting in your wallet. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm here every week with tips, tricks, and stories to help you spot coins worth money and turn your hobby into a profitable adventure. You're digging through your old coin jar, looking for some spare change to buy a soda, and bam, you stumble across a penny worth over $2.3 million. Yes, you heard me right, millions for a penny. Now, before you start flipping every coin in your couch cushions, let me tell you about the 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's not just any penny. This little copper coin has a story that could make your jaw drop and your wallet sing. So grab your favorite snack, sit back, and let's dive into what makes this penny worth more than a mansion. First off, what makes this penny so special? It's not just the fact that it has Old Honest Abe on it. We've been seeing his face on pennies since 1909. The magic lies in the details. The 2021 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. The one that recently sold for a jaw-dropping $2.3 million isn't your average pocket change. It's what coin experts call a high-grade coin, specifically graded MS-69 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. That's like saying it's a coin that hit the genetic lottery, almost flawless. Now, let's sprinkle in a bit of history. In 2021, billions of Lincoln pennies were minted, but not all pennies are created equal. Most of them are your run-of-the-mill coins that jingled through drive-through windows and vending machines. But a few lucky ones came out of the mint with absolute perfection. These are the coins collectors drool over, and trust me, they're willing to pay top dollar for them. Like life-changing money.so. How do you know if your penny is the chosen one? First, look for that shiny D mint mark under the year. Next, check the condition. A little ding here or a scratch there. Sorry, no millions for you. Your penny needs to look like it was minted yesterday. And if you really think you've struck gold or copper, in this case, send it off to a professional grading service. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. Yes, the one that holds everything from dead batteries to random screws. I stumbled across a pile of coins I'd totally forgotten about. I thought, hey, maybe I'll find something cool. Well, spoiler alert, I didn't. But it did get me thinking about all the people who do stumble upon rare coins in the wild. Like that lucky person who cashed in a 2021 D. Lincoln penny for over $2 million. Can you imagine the look on their face when they realized their lunch money was worth more than a Lamborghini? So, what's driving the insane value of this particular penny? The key is rarity and demand. Coin collectors are like treasure hunters. They're constantly looking for those rare, pristine finds. And when a coin like this pops up, they go all in. It's like an auction for a piece of history, and the bidding can get wild. That little jar of coins sitting on your kitchen counter might be holding a fortune, but you'll never know unless you look. The 2021 D. Abraham Lincoln penny is proof that even the most ordinary things can have extraordinary value. So, the next time you're bored, skip scrolling on your phone and start sorting through your change. Who knows? You might just stumble on a life-changing penny. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or if you're about to start a treasure hunt of your own, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and strategies on spotting coins worth money. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Did you know that a simple penny from 1979 could potentially be worth $2.4 million today? Yes, you heard that right, million. I mean, imagine paying for your morning coffee with a coin that could buy you a mansion instead. It sounds insane, right? But it's true, and today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1979 D. Abraham Lincoln penny. But before we start, let me tell you a quick story about how I got into coin collecting. When I was 10, I found an old penny in my dad's junk drawer and thought I struck gold. Spoiler alert, it was worth exactly 1 cent. But that moment sparked a lifelong curiosity about coins and their hidden values. And guess what? It's brought me here, talking to you about coins worth real money. So stick around because this penny could change your life, or at least your wallet. Let's start with what makes this penny stand out. The D stands for Denver, where this penny was minted. Most 1979 D pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. But there's one batch, an error coin, that's sending collectors into a frenzy. And these aren't just any errors. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, and other quirks that make them incredibly rare. Coins with these errors weren't supposed to leave the mint, but a few slipped through the cracks, and now they're the rarest of the rare. If you find one of these in your pocket change, you could be sitting on a literal fortune. So, why is this specific coin worth so much? First, it's all about rarity. Think of it like this. Imagine there's a party with 1,000 people, but only one person gets the golden ticket to meet their favorite celebrity. That's how rare this coin is. Second, condition matters. A flawless coin in mint state condition is like finding a 50-year-old car with 0 miles on it. If your penny looks like it just rolled off the press, you're in luck. Lastly, the story. Collectors love a good story, and the 1979 D penny has it all: mystery, drama, and a touch of scandal. How to check if your penny is valuable? All right, let's get practical. Here's how you can check if your 1979 D penny is worth more than a cent. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on the D or other letters. Look for errors. Is the coin off-center? Does Lincoln's profile look a little off? These could be clues. A shiny, uncirculated penny is always more valuable than one that's been rattling around in a parking lot for 40 years. Now, don't go grabbing every penny you see off the ground, unless you're okay with weird looks from strangers. Trust me, I've been there. If you think you've hit the jackpot, don't rush to your local grocery store to spend it. Instead, consult a professional coin appraiser or attend a coin auction. Some websites, like Heritage Auctions, specialize in rare coins, and that's where the big bucks come in. Let me tell you about the time I thought I found the 1979 D penny. I was going through a jar of coins from my grandma's attic, and I came across a 1979 penny with a D mint mark. My heart was racing faster than a kid in a candy store. But after an hour with my magnifying glass, it turned out to be a regular penny, worth exactly 1 cent. Still, that thrill of the hunt? Totally worth it.so. There you have it, the incredible story of the 1979 D Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's worth a jaw-dropping $2.4 million. Who knew a tiny piece of copper could hold so much value? Go check your coin jars, your couch cushions, and maybe even your grandma's attic. You never know. Your next cup of coffee could cost you a penny and make you a millionaire. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth money, hit that subscribe button and join our community of treasure hunters. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends, because who doesn't want to know if they're sitting on a gold mine? You're cleaning out an old drawer. Maybe it's your grandma's or one you forgot existed, and bam, you find a penny. Not just any penny, though. A 1952 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. At first, you think, hey, it's just a penny. But guess what? That tiny copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.5 million. Yes, you heard me right, million. Suddenly, it's like you've hit the jackpot in the weirdest way possible. But why is this little penny worth so much? Let's dive into the juicy details, and don't worry, I'll sprinkle in some humor to keep this history lesson anything but boring. So, what makes the 1952 mint mark penny so valuable? First, let's break it down. The S stands for the San Francisco Mint, where this coin was produced. In 1952, they cranked out a ton of these pennies, but only a handful, emphasis on handful, had a very specific error or variation. And that's what collectors go absolutely nuts over. These errors include things like doubling on the letters or numbers, a misaligned die, or even a slight variation in the composition of the metal. These mistakes are what make the coin so desirable. It's like finding a typo in a first edition of a classic novel, quirky, rare, and insanely valuable. This particular penny has all the hallmarks of a perfect storm: rarity, a famous face, shout out to Abe Lincoln, and the kind of history that gets collectors lining up with their checkbooks ready. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these golden, copper tickets? First, check the date. It needs to say 1952. Next, flip that bad boy over and look for the S under the year. If it's there, congratulations, you're one step closer to potentially retiring early. But don't call your boss to quit just yet. You'll need to have the coin authenticated by a professional. There's a whole world of shady counterfeit coins out there, and you don't want to be the person who gets duped. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale. One of those dusty, sunny days where you're just hoping to find something cool. I spotted a jar of old coins for $5. Canadian pennies, some tokens, and a rusty nickel. But tucked in there, barely visible, was a penny that caught my eye. I took it home, cleaned it gently. Don't come for me, coin purists. I know now that cleaning coins is a no-no, and realized it had a 1952 mint mark. I freaked out. My first thought was, I'm rich. Spoiler alert. It wasn't the penny, but it sold for $50, which was still a win considering I spent $5 on the whole jar. Moral of the story? Always check your change and keep an eye out for hidden treasures. Now, let's talk dollars and cents, or in this case, millions. The record price for a pristine 1952 penny is $2.5 million. That's for a coin graded as a Ms. 70, which is basically the coin world's equivalent of winning Miss Universe. If your coin isn't in mint condition, don't sweat it. Even lower grade versions can fetch thousands. The key is rarity and condition. The better shape it's in, the more collectors will pay. And hey, if you don't have one of these, there are still tons of other coins out there worth hunting for. So, there you have it, folks. The 1952 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, the little copper coin that could change your life. Who knew something so small could pack such a big punch? If you're inspired to start digging through your change jar or raiding your grandma's attic, you're not alone. And here's the deal. I share tips, tricks, and stories like this all the time. If you're curious about other coins that could be worth a fortune, or just want to hang out and nerd out about history and treasure, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, your future self, and maybe your bank account, will thank you. What if I told you that you could be sitting on a gold mine right now? Well, technically a copper one. That's right. Today, we're diving into the story of a humble little penny that's worth, drumroll please, a jaw-dropping $2.6 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single 1995 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be the ultimate treasure hiding in your pocket change. So, grab your loose coins, settle in, and let's uncover the secrets behind this tiny coin with a massive price tag. Alright, let's start with the basics. What makes this penny so special? At first glance, the 1995 Lincoln penny might look like any ordinary penny. You've probably tossed 100 of them into a vending machine or a jar without a second thought. The no-mint mark detail makes all the difference. You see, most coins are stamped with a mint mark, a little letter that tells you where they were made. For example, D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark, that means it was made in Philadelphia. Back in the day, this wasn't unusual, but in the case of the 1995 penny, there's a twist. Some of these pennies were struck with an error so rare that it's practically the coin world equivalent of finding a unicorn in your backyard. Now, I'll admit, when I first heard about this penny, I thought, no way. It's probably some internet hoax, like those fake $1 million Beanie Babies. But one day, while digging through an old shoebox of coins my grandpa gave me, I decided to take a closer look. There I was, squinting under the kitchen light, flipping penny after penny, until I came across one that looked suspiciously plain. No mint mark. My heart started racing. Was this it? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, I did find a wheat penny from the 1940s, so it wasn't a total loss. Anyway, back to the $2.6 million superstar. What really boosts the value of this penny is its condition. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are obsessed with grading. They use a scale from 1 to 70 to judge a coin's condition, with 70 being absolutely flawless. A 1995 no-mint mark penny in perfect condition is as rare as a perfect game in baseball. Combine that with its unique error, and you've got yourself a coin worth millions. In fact, the $2.6 million penny we're talking about was sold at auction after a heated bidding war. Can you imagine that? People fighting over a penny like it's the last slice of pizza. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, now I've got to dig through all my change like a treasure hunter. And honestly, you should. Who knows what might be hiding at the bottom of your coin jar or stuck between your car seats? Just don't blame me when your family finds you knee-deep in pennies, muttering about mint marks. Hey, it's all in the name of fortune, right? So, what's the moral of the story here? Check your coins, my friends. That penny you're about to toss in the tip jar could be worth more than your car. And remember, it's not just about luck. It's about knowing what to look for. Education is key in the world of coin collecting, and that's where I come in. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I post videos just like this every week, sharing tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. And who knows, maybe next time, we'll be talking about the rare coin you found. Until then, happy hunting and keep those eyes peeled. You never know what treasure might be waiting for you.